Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and we've got another build sent in by viewer Mercurus, who seems to be very much on an experimental kick with his builds right now. I can tell because looking at what he's chosen for me this time around, it's once again consistent of things that I don't really like very much. Namely, I don't have a lot of love for Riptide or Snare Track, but it is better than... I use it so infrequently. Yeah, Spike Track. It's better than Spike Track and Toxic Trap. I'll at least give it that. For the most part, I'm just not a fan of the Earth Elemental Dash Arcana, even if they are, damage-wise, rather strong. But one thing that I am changing is that instead of the Tempo Robe, I am going with Fury. Since you wanted to start with Surefire Rocket, I figure let's at least make it so that we have greater signature damage to really make that work with. Alright, so part of the reason why I like to do this is because I like to see how certain things work out. So this ought to be interesting. And we're just gonna go. Let's see what we get. Alright, Water Lady. So Freya, Shu, Zeal. Kind of a shame. I was hoping that the Wonder Twins would show up so that the Earth Elemental signature would be so much more effective. But that's okay. You just can't have everything all the time. Now, strange as this might seem, I actually kind of prefer Flame Cleaver as a signature. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but the idea that it comes in multi-parts essentially does allow it some flexibility. But as a signature, it has great amounts of damage in sort of a shotgun manner. So, much like with Frost Fan, you just stand next to your intended target with your signature charge ready to go, and then you just let it rip right into their face. And, does so much damage. I do very much like Frost Fan too, but I do very much like Flame Cleaver as a signature. There we go. Looking good. Alright, so now we've got Riptide upgraded, which just has that little extra ripple. Because Riptide is meant to be almost purely defensive, it's the whole point of that little extra ripple is that it helps block projectiles a little bit better. But I figure if that's going to be this run's defense, then I may as well have it be stronger. There we go. Here we go. Alright, looking good, looking good. Don't even know what Anders is selling yet, and it might not even matter. I'm also needing to kind of remember to kind of push myself to use my Dash Arcana a little bit more aggressively. As this is a dash that I'm very unfamiliar with. Now, I do like that it has the ability to kind of hold enemies in place. It's just, for me at least, an awkward dash. Also, damage is a little lacking. Okay, so I think between Captain's Ring and Gloves of Gambit, considering what the run is calling for, I think Gloves of Gambit is the better option. There we go. I'm sure you've already seen the gears turning in my head about that treasure chest. It's a locked chest, which means there's a good chance for strong goodies in it. Okay, well, not so much this time, but I mean, you know. I'm not gonna take the ominous lone note, that just seems like a mistake. And now I'll switch back to my other dash. By the way, I do want to apologize for not having essentially this video up earlier in the day. I ended up sleeping in a little bit, and that threw off my entire schedule. So I just decided, you know what, I am going to do this after work, and then after work came, and I was really kind of focused on Monster Hunter Stories, so forgive me. It is not my intention to leave you all in the lurch waiting. Also, the reason why I didn't go with the outfit upgrade, honestly, just kind of forgot about it. I was hoping that I would get compensated a little bit more for going with the Locks chest, and that didn't pan out. So, yeah, I'm not gonna say let that be a lesson to all of you, because that was really nothing more than just me being an idiot. I suppose what it boils down to is, hey, sometimes the more consistent thing is better than a random gamble. And speaking of which... So now the idea is we're going to want to try to upgrade that Flame Cleaver as soon as possible. And yes, I know I could just pick up something else instead of Flame Cleaver, but, you know, things haven't exactly presented themselves, and it's going to be a little while before I have enough Arcana to be able to even make that decision. So I would rather just upgrade Flame Cleaver and stick with it, as that is the build designer's original intent, I would assume. That would be like the one positive side about having Riptide, because I do feel as though its damage is a little on the lacking side. And keep in mind the types of basics that I normally run with. Chaos Crusher, Bolt Rail, Bouncing Blaze. Now, I've used Riptide before, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm unaware of how to use it. It's just the idea that its primary function is mostly defensive is just different for me. You know what? You deserve that. I don't care if it seems like extreme, like overly aggressive, just overkill. I realized I used the prefix over a couple more times than I should have in that sentence, but oh well. And yes, right now I'm just fishing for more coins. Here we go. There we go. Alright, not bad. Now, admittedly, buying that Arcana on the previous floor is a bit of a mistake because I was given a second shot at Captain's Ring, which I can no longer capitalize on, so oops. I'm also not exactly digging Cabby's citrus sweets, but, you know. And there we go. Nice and easy. What are you? I'm not sure I care. But it's a good trap, so what the hell. I mean, with the exception of Obsidian Cascade, everything I have is just a little wonky to begin with, so hey, what the hell. Maybe this'll be a good way to help me control space. is such an awkward... It's such an awkward basic, like, really, that... Working with this one just feels so weird in comparison to what I normally work with. And a lot of that boils down to I don't often think about, you know, attack the spell that's coming at me. Oh, I hate you guys. I really hate you guys. I hate this room. This Arcana set is not optimized to deal with that room. It really isn't. See, now oftentimes when I talk about Arcana that can control space, what I mean by that is Arcana that have a nice long-lasting hitbox, or something that hits all around you, something that seriously makes it difficult for your enemies to come too close to you. Like I would consider as a basic air spinner to be a particularly good space controller. Oh, here we go. Bouncing Surge. Now that will do a good job. And I see Aqua Beam there, which is a nice powerhouse of a spell, which would really tear through Zeal, but let's wait and see what else is available from the other vendors. I'm also very much thinking I need to get rid of Caddy's Citrus Sweets. That occasional ball lightning knocking enemies way the hell far away from my range is not doing me any favors. I mean, I like Pathfinder's Knapsack, but I think in this case I would rather go for Aqua Beam. By the way, the reason why I haven't just dropped the Citrus Sweets is because I'm hoping to find Cremire in here somewhere. Then I can just sell it to him. But that's a no-go. Ooh. Okay, now we're starting to look a little bit better. So both Dynamic Disarray and Bouncing Surge are going to help me control space and limit my enemies' movements. There we go. Oh, you know what? Even if I can't earn money off it, screw it, I don't want it. Oh, nope, not there. There, a little, like, electric tripwire? The hell with that thing. Who even wants that? I can definitely point out one guy who doesn't want it. Alright, definitely feel like I got picked on there. Alright, a little bit more consistency can now be had. I have things that are going to bounce around and help stun enemies in a wide area. Basically, I've got bouncing attacks. And as I already stated, pardon me, on my Discord, Bouncing Surge is one of my personal favorites. Oh, really? So one of the odd issues I have with Riptide is that it just doesn't quite get the job done fast enough. I don't mean like it necessarily just its damage. What I mean is it's just slow. Like, after you use it, there's like a few frames of cooldown before you can use it again. And even though that seems like it's a bit par for the course with basics, it's the idea that all of it comes out at once, which leaves it in this weird, like, awkward position where you use it and it's like, aha! And then you just sit there for a little bit, just kind of twiddling your thumb before you can use it. Well, that was quick. I don't want to go to the boss that fast. Not doing a speed run. Which, for those of you that don't know, hey, Wizard of Legend was featured in SGDQ 2021. Like, I think the run itself happened just like less than a day ago now. Now, I could be wrong about the timing, but it's definitely up. And I have every intention of checking that out, although probably tomorrow because I am recording late. And I am feeling like I should, at least get some rest after it. After I upload this. God, Riptide is such a weird ability. Oh, of course. Of course. Now I've come to find out I would have had a use for the cabbie sweets. It's right there all along. I am gonna buy that. And Iris is probably over in this direction. Alright, what do we got? Honestly, I don't really want any of that. There we go, that was a beautiful fight. Flashy Windbreaker. Oh my goodness! I don't even care! Alright, so let's come over here. Alright, we're gonna want to hold on to that. We're We're gonna want to hold on to that. We're gonna want to hold on to that. Everything else can get consumed. Lovely. Alright, that extra 15% will be beautiful. Now, on the next floor, what I really need to see is the Aqua Beam upgrade. I do not care about Snare Track, but I really need Aqua Beam to get upgraded. What in the world? That was stupid. Oh, what? I was clearly not paying attention to what he was doing. Hey, Surge Anchor! You know what you can do, Surge Anchor? Get fucked. I will take that card and walk it all the way up to the edge of Mount Mordor, or whatever it's called, the volcano, and I will drop that shit in personally. Get that shit out of here. Now, I know it's in the land of Mordor. Is the volcano actually called Mount Mordor? Mount Doom or something? Because I'm totally okay with calling it either of those things. I like the idea of Mount Doom. Clearly, I am not a Lord of the Rings aficionado, and my apologies to any of you that are just yelling at me over the airwaves. Oh my god, how stupid can this guy be? I mean, I know just enough about Lord of the Rings to talk about it. I don't know like these specific like place names and whatnot. I'm sorry. And if it makes you feel better, you can crucify me in the comments about it. Here we go. I think the run has definitely come together now that we've got a few things that are going to bounce around and make my job a little easier. There we go. How did you guys live? You bastards! And, ooh, Elixir of Might again. Alright. Feeling pretty good about this. Okay, that could have worked out better. I mean, even with that little snafu, I think I handled myself pretty good there, if I say so myself. You suck. Though somehow you didn't hit me, so I guess I shouldn't be too upset. And there we go, Aqua Beam upgrade. So now it's getting the additional 10% instead of the 10% penalty. So now it's like it's getting plus 20% to its damage, and that's beautiful. I'm curious, have I managed to not find the boss room yet? Oops. I mean, I don't have the Infinity Marble, so it's not like I could have held on to that forever. By the way, I mentioned earlier that I was playing Monster Hunter Stories 2. Like, honestly, if you guys are on the fence about it, pick it up. You don't need to know a ton about the first Monster Hunter Stories game in order to enjoy this one. It does help if you're at least a little bit of a fan of Monster Hunter, but I would say that even that isn't exactly incredibly important. It's a very story-driven JRPG with, you know, party management. It's, for lack of a better word, it's like Monster Hunter Pokemon. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth. Alright, that Elixir of Might is looking mighty good now. Not that it wasn't before, I'm just saying. Sucker. Alright. So, most of the way through this run now, I have to say, I'm not having a huge number of issues with anything. I still say that there are other things that I would have preferred to use instead of snare track or Riptide, but the run is going well enough. Those minor little complaints are nothing that I'm going to get bent out of shape over. And basically everything else is just kind of worked out quite nicely. There we go. So now, instead of just saying, I don't like that, I should probably actually offer an explanation as to why. In the case, I've already spoken about Riptide. I'm not a big fan of it because, one, it's not one of those things I think of when I think, oh, here's a good defensive item. Because normally it's something that allows me to evade attacks, or something that just inflicts pain upon my face when I use it. Like, I don't really think about using it as, like, throwing it in the way of other enemy projectiles. Because I've played enough hours of this game to know what I like, and it's just very counterintuitive to how I've trained myself. More power to you if you like using it, it's just not for me. Snare Track. My issue with Snare Track is that it's one of those things that follows along with you instead of like coming off from behind you. So what ends up happening with it is that in order to actually effectively use it, you have to dash through the enemy instead of just letting them get caught up by something that you're leaving in your wake. And I have the same problem with Spike Track, so I might as well just state that one right here as well. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean I'm not going to use them if y'all ask me to do it, because here I am using it, and, you know, like I said, I'm not having a huge number of problems. Those are just preferences. But as you all well know, something being a preference of mine doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore something else. As I've already stated, or at least I think I've already stated this, but my memory is kind of trash as of late, but I obviously did not turn this run down. That's twice she's caught me with that stupid blaze dash. And no perfect storm, thank you. I already have 2 wonky spells, I don't need a third. Now, the upside that Flame Cleaver has over Aqua Edge or Aqua Beam is that okay, so there's more than one, but one, it works with Gloves of Gambit. That's a big get. And two, it's something that I can fire off multiple times, whereas once I'm done with Aqua Beam, I have to wait for it. Now that having been said, Aqua Beam does last longer and ultimately do more damage, but I also want to... Wow, I suck. I'm also doing my best to stick with the run as I was given. So what I might do is I might take Dynamic Disarray off and put in Aqua Beam. Ow. As much as I like Dynamic Disarray, I do think this is the smarter choice. Just in case. Now, something to keep in mind for myself mostly is that because I'm running Gloves of Gambit, I might actually be getting just a little bit more damage out of Dynamic Disarray than Aqua Beam. Don't sit there holding the Obsidian Cascade too long. Ah, lame. Owie! Hey, I can do that too. And there we go. Not bad. If I had to take a guess as to how things would have changed if I had stuck with the tempo rope, I'm thinking I would have been throwing off more flame cleavers, but using fewer obsidian cascades. Probably would have increased the clear time of the run by a minute or two. I'd also been running faster, so who knows. But that's the run. Again, thank you once again, Mercurus, on the Discord server for dropping another suggestion. And hopefully this is letting you guys know, hey, I'm willing to try whatever you guys put towards me. And I'm also well aware that's probably going to open the door for some god-awful runs. But, hey, you know what? I'm willing to at least try because I love you guys. I thank you guys every day for making this more and more interesting and more impactful. I'm really hoping to be able to do more with my channel in the near future, but save that for another time. Right now, I want to thank you for spending your free time with me. Links to my social media will be in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, the usual YouTube thing, hit the bell for notifications, yada yada yada, and I will see you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.